Brandon Cutler here from AEW, and I hope you guys have an awesome podcast with the MonsterCast.
What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful here. You're watching the MonsterCast with Jack and Ryan. A big shout out to those fellas. Good people. Check them out.
Here's your host of the MonsterCast, the Straight Edge Monster, Jack and Ryan.
The promo of the decade. By the way, the decade's only been around for 2 years and a month. So even if you said the last decade and actually included the last 10 years, you're wrong. Even if you included just this decade, you're wrong. But let's just go ahead and say, and you've seen these tweets. I know you have, because I've retweeted it. I said something on Twitter, you replied. There are definitely people that I know you have at least come across on this topic and tried to fucking portray the Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman promo from Raw as the promo of the decade. Thoughts?
It's not. It's not even close. There's a thing in psychology called a recency bias. And basically what it is the closer you are to an event, the more impactful it is on you, obviously. How most trauma works, it's how a lot of different things work, but it also happens in entertainment, where the season finale to a show that you just watched is the best season finale you've ever seen, or the twist in a movie is the craziest twist you've ever seen. It's that sort of exaggeration because it's more recent to you, so it has more impact on you right now, so you outweigh what its actual value was. I don't really have that problem so much. I'm pretty good at stepping back from stuff. That's also one of the reasons that I try to, like even with Wrestle Kingdom, right? When I was watching that and I saw the Omega Ospreay match, I was like, fuck, that was like the best match I think I've ever seen. But then I was like, well, I know what that is. And I also know it's going to bias me on the Jay White Okada match next. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to stop watching this. I'll watch Jay and Okada tomorrow, see how I feel about all of it then, all that stuff. But people don't consciously do that thing a lot. So where you're getting all this from is literally just
a lot in general, not even just wrestling fans. 99% of wrestling fans don't do it. A lot of, just like 90% of the general population doesn't do it. But wrestling fans are always living in the moment, dude. And
no, it's very common everywhere. But I think
I agree, but I think it's more common in wrestling. I don't know if it's just because of the social media presence or what, but Jesus Christ, dude. When you say, have you seen the accounts where they'd be like, oh man, do you remember this? And it happened like a year and a half ago?
Right.
And it was the best thing ever from a year and a half ago? No, we all forgot it, you fucking moron.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of the same, like 3 or 4 little moments. And what's crazy is one of the things that I consider one of the like funniest, most impactful, like most story-driven, and just like outright funniest things to have happened in the last few years is Seth Rollins' entrance against Roman Reigns in the match that Roman Reigns got DQ'd in, where he comes up in the Shield gear to the Shield music.
Yeah, I think it was
a Roman's reaction. Actually. Yeah. I feel like that's like one of their better moments in a really long time. But you don't see that one get thrown around nearly as much as some of these other like super common ones. It's very weird.
But here's the thing, even with what the people were saying, and you saw the same tweets I did, even if you say this decade, you're wrong. Even if you say the last decade, clearly you're wrong if you're wrong about this decade. And then you're even wrong if you're just talking about WWE. You're wrong if you're talking about all of wrestling. You're just wrong. Like this doesn't even crack top 10 to me. You got the MJF promo, right? With Regal. That just happened at the end of last year. The email promo. That was fucking 100 times better than this. 100.
Daddy Magic's promo after Blood and Guts was better than that.
Dude,
that was an amazing promo.
I don't know what the fuck people were not watching. You know what? It was the best promo of the night because instead of fucking Elimination Chamber, Damian Priest had me hyped for Money in the Bank instead. So like he was doing Money in the Bank fucking build up instead of Elimination Chamber. And then when you got 5 people on the fucking mic and your best promo guy is Edge out of the 5, then yeah, I guess the Cody Paul Heyman promo looked like it was fucking magic.
Yeah,
because that promo was terrible.
I think he gets overrated because they're trying to draw in a lot of real life stuff into it. But at the end of the day, that whole promo was literally just like, you knew my dad, you helped my dad once, thank you. He always liked you a lot. And then Heyman saying, thanks, he liked you a lot too. But back to storyline, he liked Roman better. And then Cody getting upset and pretending like he isn't the one that makes everything personal. And saying, I'm just trying to win a championship in wrestling. But you're not, because you're the one that's always trying to bring personal shit into it. And that's basically the end of the promo. But because they both got teary-eyed, and because there was real-life elements brought into it, which, by the way, Cody cries in every fucking promo. So him getting teary-eyed, I love Cody, don't get me wrong. But every promo he does has some level of, like, misty-eyed shit about Dusty.
Yeah, he's young Ric Flair at the moment. He's got to cry in every fucking promo.
It's fine. But it doesn't make everything that he does the best promo ever. Because, first of all, he's overplaying the card. So when MJF does it, there's a reason that it has more impact, and it's because it's not so saturated. Every one of his promos isn't like that. But yeah, man, I thought it was a good promo. I was nowhere near like, oh, this is the best shit I've ever seen. It's so stupid.
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying it was the worst promo ever, but it's not in the top 10 of fucking promos from this goddamn decade. From the 2 years that we've had already, it's not in the top 10 to me. Yes, like you said, it had real life things that it pulled from, but a lot of the stuff does. The CM Punk MJF had a shit ton of real life stuff that they pulled from. The email promo with MJF and Regal had real life shit that it pulled from. Like, I don't understand how people forget so quickly in wrestling to just make these asinine comments about best of the decade, best of the year, best of the month. It wasn't even the best promo of the week if you watch Dynamite. I thought the fucking MJF promo from backstage about the car crash thing was fucking way better promo.
It's better. So that one got actually a lot of weird backlash because they were just like, oh, it was going too far, like it was too unbelievable, like that kind of shit. But that's the point. Like, the story MJF is telling has the subtext of getting you to understand that he's kind of a liar about things. It wasn't supposed to have you believe that that's really something that happened. It's him talking to create this image of himself. It was never supposed to be taken like literally. Well, it was. It's a weird layer.
He wants you to take it literally because he's trying to fucking put fear in Danielson's mind about how crazy this motherfucker is and what he'll do. He'll do anything to get what he wants or to get what he wants out of life or whatever. And right now, that is the championship. So if he was willing to do that, then what do you think he's going to be willing to do in an Iron Man match against you? Right? That's what he's trying to portray and trying to get inside of Danielson's head. But then, of course, you got people going online to the point where people were saying that the fucking area was calling the sheriffs around that area or whatever and all this shit about it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. But somebody looked into it from ESPN and that was obviously not true. And then, of course, then you had the E-drones that just went off with the Liv fucking name. And he described the person and it sounded nothing like Liv Morgan. And he said, for legal reasons, we're going to change your name. So what made you think that he was really talking about Liv Morgan? I cannot stand these people online. They're so stupid.
Also, he literally did that on purpose. Because there's pictures of them floating around on the internet and stuff where they've been friends for a while or whatever. So it was specifically to agitate that group of people and worked.
Yeah, and it always works. That's his entire gimmick, is to take stuff from social media where people go get fake outrage about stuff and then use it to his fucking advantage in these promos, and it comes off like gold every time. And the other thing about what I liked about his promo is that when he talks, dude, and he gets like, usually when people get like super mad, like quote unquote Damian Priest, who was flustered at Edge, who said nothing to Damian Priest one-on-one, by the way, to get flustered. But when MJF goes on this tirade like a Ric Flair, he doesn't mess up. He doesn't stumble across his words. He doesn't have to stop and think again, like reset what his next line is. He just kept fucking going, getting louder, getting fucking crazy. And it was just, from start to finish, was a fantastically built promo. Had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And had a point to what's going on with his match coming up with Danielson. The Cody Paul Heyman promo is just a little teaser. It's just a little taste. Oh, now it's personal. What? Just like Heyman said on SmackDown, When was it not going to be personal? You're trying to take the title away from a dude that's had it for over 800 days. I think we'll be over 900 days by WrestleMania. What makes you think this wasn't already personal? Like, it's so stupid to me. Like, that promo is not better than MJF's promo from this week, and people are talking about some best of the decade. Come on, dude.
I mean, so even if we say, let's say within the same company, I feel like Roman Reigns has cut better promos. I feel like, especially some of the stuff with him, Heyman, and Brock, and that weird thing where it was the will he or won't he deal with Heyman, where nobody really knew what side he was going to go on or whatever. And the end of things, it's like, that whole promo with him and Heyman, where Heyman's like, I wasn't trying to save you from Brock. I was trying to save Brock from you. Like, that whole thing, that was way fucking better. And that's not even that's a match that everybody's seen, like, 15 times at this point. A lot of the Bloodline stuff I feel like has been better. Some of this is
the Court of Sammy. The Court of Sammy. Everybody did really good on the Court of Sammy. Like, yeah, come on, man. I like Brock Lesnar's half of the promo he had with Lashley on Raw better than that. I thought Lesnar did good. I thought Lesnar was hilarious. I was more invested in that. I was like, where is he going with this? Like, this shit was great.
Or the one where he cut that's not the same one where he came out by himself and was like, every night I go to bed with my wife.
Yeah, that was Monday, yeah.
4 or 5 hours later.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours later. Thinking about Bobby Lashley.
Think about Bobby Lashley.
So good, dude. That was great. So, yeah, this rhetoric where people just go on there and just spew off at the mouth about fucking best of the decade, it's so ridiculous to me. And we talk about this multiple times. We try to not live in prisoner moment on this show, for sure. Hard to do when you had, like, the early AEW pay-per-views, and it was better than clearly anything you've seen in recent memory. So like, yeah, whole shows, like, it was basically AEW pay-per-view versus the NXT Black and Gold pay-per-view at that point. And then once they started changing NXT Black and Gold after they were losing the wars or whatever, it was like, there's the matches, really, it's New Japan and AEW pay-per-views, and then, like, the occasional fucking WWE stuff sprinkled in every now and then, which will get mentioned. But there's a reason why that is because you don't get enough of it on a regular basis, because you don't have enough people that can deliver in big moments. And then with the AEW stuff is because they're so good, they have so many good promo guys that they're building up those matches for you to care about those matches. Where in WWE, they have lackluster promo guys, and then by the time the pay-per-view gets there, you're like, I don't really give a fuck about this match. The story behind it hasn't really compelled me to watch this or care about this match at all. And I get that they're trying to do that because they're so lacking in that department that you have to pull from real life stuff. But then again, if that was the case, then why the fuck do we need writers? If you can just pull from real life stuff constantly. Because the writers suck then.
I mean, look, even Eddie Kingston's promos have blown this out of the water so much that I feel like the only people that would possibly be saying this shit about it being the best ever or whatever are literally just people that don't watch other products.
Hey guys, did you like that video? If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also catch full episodes of the MonsterCast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you can also catch us live every Sunday on Twitch. All links in the description below, along with some sweet merch from yours truly, the MonsterCast. Deuces.